Hello class. Just wanted to start to put together a video to kind of help you understand the stair and what you need to do to modify the model to insert the stair. One of the first things we're going to do is actually build that concrete landing that starts in that kind of lower lobby that goes up to the main level. That takes a little bit of an extra effort where we have to cut the floor and start to insert some different slabs in there to make that landing look the way it needs to. From there we'll do the second part or second video, which will be the exercise of the putting in the stair into the model, and I will be able to kind of walk you through some of the things you'll need to do to start to modify that. Anyway, let's start with this main level. I've got this beginning with the kind of showing the lobby, so I know you can shut off some layers so that you can do this. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to start editing this slab, and one of the things I'm going to be using is kind of measurements off that opening that goes through the concrete wall, and then working back to cut an opening in the slab, and then start to insert different levels into the slab so that you can have that base to start out with. So let's go to the main level plan, and we get down here. So what we've got here, we're going to double click on that, and you're going to see the kind of outline of the slab. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to cut out where this concrete landing is going to come in. So one of the things that I'm going to start to do to get this process going is I am going to kind of run a line across here. The kind of width of the landing is there's 3'5", which kind of takes into allows for that kind of stair to go up, and then we have another 4-foot landing, so that ends up being 7'5". So we get here, and then what I am going to do is click on that line, and we're going to move that up to that point. Okay, so now I've got this as a reference point in this line. What I'm going to do now is we're going to draw our boundary lines. Click on this corner, and we're going to come down 10 foot 10 inches. This will all make sense with you shortly because I've already gone through the measuring of this, but we're going to come down 10 foot 10. Now we're going to come over 3'5". And then we need to come up 11 inches. And that's the kind of width of these lower steps. Then we'll come over our 4 feet. As we see, we were lined up there, and then we're going to come down 7 feet 7.5 inches. And we're going to be just inside the mullions. Hit that wall. There. And what I want to do is go up here and delete that reference line. Now I'll hit the check mark. It's going to say, because we would cut a hole, and I'll say, well, we're going to unjoin those elements, so we should be good. So I'm going to come back up here and look at this in 3D. You can see now we've cut this hole in the slab. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, we're going to start to add different steps in here and the landing. So let's go back to main level. So we go up here to main level. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to architecture. We're going to go over here to floor. Now right now I've got in here generic floor, and we'll turn that into a concrete floor. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start to build a series of steps. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to say on the main level, the slab is here we showed offset 6, so we're going to edit this type and we're going to duplicate, and we're going to call this concrete step 6 inches. Say OK. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to edit this. So one of the things to remember is we're adding 6 inches of concrete above that existing slab. That slab is actually 4 inches. So we're going to make this 10 inches. 4 plus 6. Say OK. Say OK. Okay, I think we got snagged there for something. So let's go here to our concrete floor, concrete step, 6 inches. We're going to go down here and we're going to draw on the boundary line. We're down 11 inches. Over 4 and up. So we should be in good shape there. Let's accept that, and then let's take a section view of it. So what I have done, okay, so here's where I made a mistake. I made the top of the landing at 6. So what we want to do is we want to modify that to say that that's 12. And now we've got a 6-inch step. I'll show you what that looks like in 3D. So now we've got a 6-inch step here. So now we're going to draw the second step. We're going to go through the same process again. Let's go back to main level. And this one will be a little bit unique, and you'll see here in a second. So let's go in here and say edit type, duplicate. Cancel. We don't want that. Let's to where? Oh, I know what happened. Got out of floor. Concrete. Let's concrete 6. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a 12-inch step. So we'll duplicate that. Say rename that. So I'm going to edit that, default thickness, so it's 4 inches plus 12, so that makes it 16. Say OK. OK. So let's go down here and start working on our boundary. So we know that step's going to come over all the way across. Now it's only going to come down the 11 inches, back over 4, down 11, 3, 5, and then there. So now we are, we accept that, and let's take a look what that looks like in 3D. So there again, oh, there we go. We're kind of stepped it. So you've got the same situation. So now we go back over here. We know that that's up 6 inches plus another 12. So that's an 18-inch step. So there we go. We got a step and a step. Look at it in section. Yeah, see a step and a step. And go back to main level. We're going to do this exercise a few more times. So I'm going to make basically this step, and then we'll do the landing, and then we'll show you what we'll do after that. Okay, so I've actually inserted this third step, and so now I've made another thing for the kind of concrete landing, which will be the next thing that we'll put in. So what we'll do is go up here to boundary lines, we're going to kind of make the landing. Once you've got the boundary put together, you say OK. So now here again, I'll do a quick check and see three-dimensionally how we're looking. So section, so there we go, we're kind of tied into each one of these. One of the things that I'm going to do too is I'm going to come up here to edit, I'm going to start to join these together. Oops. That way I can actually let's go back to main level and look at 3D of it. So you'll see that I've made the landing. There's the kind of middle one, so that's what we had cut. Now I made a third one. This one, of course, is made an 18-inch step. I have a 12-inch step, I have a 6-inch step, and then I have a 2-foot landing. And each one of those, if you look at this section, you can see that they do a really good job of kind of carrying each other up. So now what I want to do is come back and take a look at my section. I'm going to save project, always a good idea. So you can see these, got this section through the wall. Now in the next model you'll see the kind of cut opening that I've put in the upper floor. And there again, just looking at these, I want to join there. And so now, as this section cut shows, the floor slab and the kind of slab for the concrete is all put together. And now we've got a main base to start to do the exercise of adding the stair up to the other level. And so these dimensions, again, will help you start to work that out. I'll walk through it again in class, but just want to have this video for you to reference as you go through. So the key thing for you to remember is when you're doing this is you're going to develop a step 12, 18, and then a concrete landing to generate this. So anyway, that is this phase of the getting you started for your stairs. We will go to the next video here in a second.